So we're gonna attach a ribbon or a coil. I'm gonna use a ribbon. So for this, it's stiff enough to hold the next section. It has to be stiff enough, but not too stiff, especially on the rim. And I'm gonna, because it's dried a little bit, I'm gonna take and score it. So I'm gonna turn it on and then just score it a little bit before I add the ribbon. The ribbon's soft clay, so I'm not gonna score it. You can actually, if it's wet enough, right where you're attaching it, you don't have to score it. You can just merge it together. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some slip that I have from yesterday and use that just a little bit and put that on here and maybe water because the slips, there's not enough of the slip. I don't want to get rid of my lines though, my scratching. All right, so now I'm going to take this ribbon and I've got to lay it over my shoulder because it's a little bit and lay it on here first just to get it positioned and see how much I need of it. And I think I might have to cut some of it off. Yeah. So I'm gonna just pinch it here, and you can cut it more precise if you want. This clay, I added fire clay to it. It's from Reclaim. You want to get it pretty even before. What I don't want is I don't want it going out too much more, so I'm gonna have to deal with that. So also you want to make sure it's merged in and with the clay below it. So that's what I'm going to do here. Is I'm making sure that it's attached well before I start throwing it, and then I will throw it like I would normally, but from that area up, like just below there up. I don't want to thin it out too much because it has to hold the next section. But I also don't want it to go out too much. I don't want it flaring out more than I want the piece to flare out. I really don't want it going out very much at all. I want to start bringing it straight up and in, so it's going to be rounded form here. All right. Kind of cracking in some places, but once I put water on it, I'll start getting it into shape. All right. The bigger you work, the bigger your tools. I actually lost my big flat rib, but I have a larger round rib. But I also like to use the metal flexible ribs, and they'll work too, even though they're not as big as I might want them. I cut this relatively even. It's not even in terms of the. So first, I'm just gonna get it attached well, and at the bottom, you can always get it, even it out at, and then cut off just a little bit if you need to at the top. I'm going relatively slow first until I can get what I need, and then I'm going to cut off just a little bit at the top. Work with a little more water. You just don't want to get it wet below there because then it'll start buckling on you. clays work better than others. This is kind of like showing its irregularities more than some clays. They also dry differently. Clay, and I've never worked with this clay before at all. This is a completely unfamiliar batch of clay with me. So there's that too. You can see it's got some irregularities already showing up, some twists and stuff. So it might not work, might work. I don't know. I'll play around with it and see what I can get. If I stop right now, I can just add a bowl shape at the top, and it's pretty close to what I want. I'm gonna see if I can straighten it up a little bit. I'm gonna use the wooden rib inside and go just below, push out just a little bit. And then up. And I get to the top here, I'm going to cut that off and then make a place for the next section. I think I'm going to add a bowl shape instead of trying to continue with coils. The irregularity is kind of messing up what I'm doing. The irregularity of the coil shape. So you can also paddle, which is a useful technique for large pieces to get them where they will. So like if I have a bulge somewhere, I can go and paddle it in, and that helps as well. Now I'm going to make a split top and use that to lay the next section on. So I'll throw a bowl shape that'll fit there, and I think I'm gonna just finish it out with a bowl and maybe a top part to it. There. That's it. Till the next step.